Wind howls like a wounded animal across the high plains. Snow flurries twist in sharp spirals, slashing across abandoned tracks. The last train pulled away hours ago. Nothing remains but cold iron and the crunch of frozen earth. A figure slumps. On a bench under the station's frostbitten awning, a woman, barely conscious. Her coat is threadbare, gloveless fingers curled against the cold. She shivers violently, lips pale as ash. Clara Whitmore, mid-20s. Wears the haunted eyes of someone who has seen death but refuses to let it win. Her nurse's satchel, battered and blood-stained, rests at her feet. She blinks slowly, watching. The snow blur the horizon. A distant Resembrazeza, lone horse, galloping through the storm. EXT, snowy trail, continues Jackson, Carrick. Early 30s, tall in the saddle, his wide-brimmed hat rimmed with frost. He rides hard, coat snapping in. The wind. His face is sun-worn, expression unreadable, half myth, half man. He slows as he nears the station. Eyes narrowing at the unmoving silhouette. Tut. Train station moments, LATR. Jackson dismounts. Snow crunches beneath his boots as he approaches. Clara. She doesn't flinch, too far gone. JACK Sowen. Miss. No answer. Her eyes flutter, focus, blurring. He kneels, brushes snow from her face. Jessica Sonia, trying to die out here. Clara weakly wasn't the plan. She sways. He catches her just before she collapses, lifting her as if she weighs nothing. Her breath trembles against his neck. In. Ranch cabin, eye dash to flames, crackle in the hearth, casting amber shadows. The cabin is sturdy but bare, built for function, not comfort. Jackson lays Clara near the fire, wraps her in every quilt he can find. He works quickly boiling water, checking her pulse. Pulling off her soaked boots with care, Clara stirs teeth. Chattering CLR, where JICKSOI my place? Closest shelter for 10 miles. Clara, the train, left me. Jack Susona, and it would have buried you. She coughs. He offers her tea too hot, but she grips the tin cup like it holds salvation. Clairweed, you stop? Jackson didn't ride out looking for charity. She spotted someone losing a fight with Winter. He doesn't ask more. She doesn't explain. Outside, the wind screams. Inside, silence builds. Int. Cabin later that inn. HT. Clara sleeps under heavy blankets. Her face is gaunt, but peaceful. Jackson sits across the room, carving a piece of driftwood, eyes flicking to her now and then. He mutters to himself. Joxasoan. Train. Station. Middle of nowhere. Demis doesn't care who it leaves behind. He pauses, looking at her again. Jackson. Softer. You weren't meant to die today. Flashback in /field. Daco. 2 years EAR, LIARG. Gunfire echoes. Clara, in a soiled nurse's apron, kneels beside a bleeding soldier. Her hands are steady. Round her, chaos reigns. Soldier weakly. Will it hurt? CLR only for a moment. Then never again. She presses gauze to his chest. He doesn't move again. Back. To present cabin eye in terror, Clara jerks awake with a gasp. Sweat beads her forehead. JACK so in bad dream. CLAR just memory, he nods. Says nothing. Clarium Clara Whitmore, Union Army nurse. Or I was. J. Sukason Jackson. Carrick. Just a man with land and not enough sense to stay indoors? Claraweed, you bring me here? Jackson didn't see a priest around to dig your grave. Figured this was the next best thing. She almost smiles. End. CABIN. MOR Nanj. Sunlight streams in weakly. Clara stands by the window, draped in a wool shawl. Her skin has color again. Jackson. Pours coffee. CLA Ravis land. It's beautiful. Empty, but beautiful. JACK so, it's honest. Doesn't pretend to be anything it's not. CLR do, you? Jackson meets her eyes. For once, no sarcasm. Jackson. Don't have time for pretending. EXT. Ranch LATR. They step outside. Snow stretches across the valley like a burial shroud. Clara takes cautious steps in borrowed boots. CLA, are this all yours? JICCSON was my brother's. Ellis. He died building it, Clarium. Sorry. JICCSON. He wanted to make something that outlived the war. Figured peace was something you built, not begged for. CLR, we're smart man. JICKS, Soen, too smart. That's why they shot him in the back. A moment of silence. CLR, the war didn't end for everyone, did it? JICKSON, some of us are still fighting. Just quieter. .int. Stable. Clara helps tend to a horse's wound. Jackson watches her hands steady, skilled. JSK, Soen, you miss it? Sura, the hospitals, the screaming, the rot. Sura, Sura, Sora, Sura, Sura? Yes, but not the cost. They share a look recognition. EXT. CABINNIGHT. The wind has died. Stars pierce the sky in sharp constellations. Jackson stands outside, looking up. Clara joins him. Clara, you believe in fate? JIC Kasoano? But I believe in stubborn people crossing paths when they shouldn't. CLRA, you think I was stubborn? Waited for a train in a blizzard? Clara and you rode into one. They share the cold, a silence that feels warmed on. In late Inigus, the fire is low. Clara lies awake. Clara Vo. I didn't come west to be saved. I came because I couldn't stand the noise of survival anymore. But now I hear something else. Quiet. Real. Jackson, across the room, stirs in sleep. His revolver rests nearby. His body still tense even in rest. Clara Vo. Maybe you don't survive war by forgetting it. Maybe you live through it by finding someone else who did. Outside, a storm churns. Snow lashes the windows in white fury. Inside, it's dim, quiet. The kind of silence only winter dares to keep. Clara stirs under wool blankets, her breathing steady. The fire has dwindled to glowing coals. Jackson moves. Quietly around the hearth, refueling the stove, his movements careful. He glances at her still asleep and hesitates. Before adjusting her blanket, she opens her eyes slowly. Clara, horse, you're up early. Jackson gruff always am. Snow's getting worse. CLARA storm kept me dreaming. Strange, isn't it? I remember warmth Jackson, that DB, the fever breaking. He hands her a cup of hot water with a sliver of lemon. Clara sipping used stock citrus in the mountains. JSK Soen comes by freight. Same as the whiskey. She smiles faintly. They sit in the hush. The wind their only witness. Ext ranch yard. LATR Clara steps into the cold with cautious resolve. She walks slowly toward the barn, draped in a too large duster. Her boots crunch over fresh snow. Jackson is already inside, brushing down a restless horse. Jackson without looking up. You shouldn't be on your feet yet. CL ran. You shouldn't expect me to stay still. She kneels beside a stall, watching him. Work. Clara, quietly. You're good with them. Gentle. JICKS, and animals don't lie. Yeah, you heard him. They remember. You help M? They remember that too. CLA are same, goes for people. He shrugs, avoiding her gaze. Inage tuing howls again. The cabin groans. Clara paces, unsettled. CLRA, how long have you lived here? JACKS, Soen for winters. Built it myself, Clara. No. Family. Yakason had a brother. Lost him to a land deal gone wrong. Folks wanted what he owned more than they feared God. CLRA, and you stayed? Jasakuso on to finish what he started. And because running never sat right with me, she nods slowly. CLRA, my brother joined the army, came back in a box. My mother aged 10 years. In a week, I left after that. Couldn't breathe in that house. JSQO so-and-so, you went to the front lines. CLRF pain was going to follow me. I figured I might as well walk toward it. A moment passes. Firelight flickers across their faces. Ixt, wooded. Trail Dougson and Clara ride side by side into the forest, snow blanketing the path. Their breath plumes into the stillness. Jackson leads the way with practiced precision. CLR, where are we going? Jackson traplines. The storm spooked the game deeper in. If I don't check 'em, we might go hungry, Clara. So this is your life? Living. Off the land. JIC Casone in the land don't make it easy.int. Deep forest LATR Jackson kneels beside a sprung trap empty. He mutters, checking for blood. Clara notices paw prints nearby. Massive, deliberate. CLR wolves? Gasoan and fresh. They're hungry too. They exchange a wary look. Jackson pulls his rifle from its sling. Jackson low. We move fast. No stops.ext. Snowfield SUNCT. The sun sinks behind slate-colored clouds. Yes. As they ride back, the trees feel closer. The silence sharper. Suddenly a snarl cuts the air. Jackson halts. Behind them, its gray shapes slink out of the shadows, eyes glowing like coals. CLR Jackson. He raises the rifle. Fires once, sharp and echoing. A yelp. The wolves scatter, but others move behind them. Circling Jack's a Wanda dismount. Slowly, they slide off their horses. Back to back. CLR, or there's too many. Jack's is so on. We don't run. Not now, she grabs a thick branch, gripping it with white-knuckled fists. The wolves lunge. Jackson fires again. Bang. Another falls. Clara swings the branch, striking one mid-charge. The beast snarl, regrouped its chaos. Snow sprays, and dash another. Rifle shot. Not Jackson's. From the tree line, third gun cracks. The wolves scatter. Jackson stares into the trees, panting. No one there. It's just shadows and silence. INT. Cabin later that T. Jackson nurses a deep gash on his arm. Clara cleans it with trembling hands. CLRU should have waited for backup. JICK so ended in. T. No, you could swing a branch like that. She dabs iodine. He hisses. Clara, don't be a child. A beat. JACKSOA. Someone else was out there. CLRA heard it. Another rifle? Jackson could have been a drifter. Or worse, Clara, you think they followed us? He doesn't answer. Late in, eached. The storm returns. Snow slams against the roof. Inside, it's quiet, too quiet. Clara sits near the fire, knees pulled to her chest. She watches Jackson check the door, rifle beside him. CLRU? Ever scared? JICK SOA, knowingly once? CLRA when? Jackson softly right now. She looks at him, really looks. CLRA. JS co-zone because something's changed. You're not just a guest anymore. Clara doesn't move. Then, gently, CLRU, always keep people at a distance? So on that way. They don't disappear. She reaches across the floor, places her hand over his. Clara, I'm not leaving. Not yet. He lets her hand stay at EXT cabin. The next Demeronian, G sunrise, breaks clean in blue. Smoke curls from the chimney. Clara stands at the edge of the porch, surveying the snow-slick world. Her breath fogs in front of her. Behind her, Jackson steps out. Jay Sekison, we lost a trap. Whatever killed that wolf, it wasn't natural. CLRO? You think it's a man? He nods. JICKSON, someone's tracking us. It's not just passing through. CLR, then what do we do? JSKZO, we'll prepare. They stand together in silence, watching the tree line. The wind lifts. Footprints mar the snow near the bar, not theirs. Clara's eyes widen. CLRA Jackson? Jackson, steady, go inside. Lock the door, fade to black. Clara bolts the door as instructed. Her breath trembles in the cold, but her eyes are sharp now, alert. She grabs Jackson's revolver from the shelf. Her hands steady, despite the fear fluttering beneath her ribs. Outside, Jackson kneels in the snow, inspecting the footprints. Deep, deliberate. They weren't there last night. EX tree line. Moments later, Jackson tracks the trail eastward. Each step is cautious, his rifle poised. Snow muffles sound, but instinct screams louder, from behind a fir tree. Movement, a flash of fur. Not animal, Jackson whispers. Come on out. Silence. Then a man emerges, tall, weather-beaten, dressed in buckskin and layers of pelts. A rough scar crosses his cheek. He carries a Winchester casually. But his stance is alert. The man doesn't speak at first. Jackson raises his rifle slightly. J-I-C-K-S-O-N name now. S-T-A-N-G-A-R name. I see Eli. I was the one fired. On the wolves. Jackson's jaw tightens. J-I-C-K-S-O-A-N-Y. Follow us. Ella didn't follow. I've been tracking someone else, bandits. Came through 2 days back. Burning cabins. Killing what didn't run. Jackson lowers the rifle slowly. J-I-C-K-S-O-N-U law. Ely smirks used to be. Then I saw what law left behind. In. C-A-B-I-N-L-A-T-R. Clara watches from the window as Jackson and Eli talk. Her grip on the revolver doesn't ease. Jackson enters. CLR? Who is he? Jay Sakuson names Eli. Says he saved us. Says there's worse than wolves out there. Clara, do you trust him? Jackson pauses. Not yet, but he's not lying about the tracks. There were others. Boot prints. At least 3. CLRA, what do they want? ELI. From the doorway, whatever's in the house, or whoever's in it. Clara flinches. Eli holds up his hands. Eli, they scout ahead. Then come back with fire. Saw it happen in Dry Creek. Only one boy made it out. JSKSON. Then we moved tonight. CLR aware. JSKSON. South. Ridge, cattle cave. Narrow mouth easy to defend. Clara nods. Jaw clenched. BXT. CABIN. Anna GHTFAL 3 figures. Move through the trees' faces, wrapped in scarves. Rifles slung. One signals the others. INT cabin. Same TMA Jackson. Tighten saddle straps. Clara. Loads bullets with trembling fingers. Okay. Eli carves marks into a stick, counting the boots he spotted. Clara quietly. I won't be a burden. Jackson meeting her eyes. You never were. Outside horses snort. Wind rustles. Eli snuffs out the lantern. Eli time. EXT. Snow trail. EXT. They ride under a black sky. The moon is veiled by cloud. Each hoofstep crunches in the brittle silence. Suddenly a crack. Gunfire. Jackson jerks in his saddle. A bullet. Tears past Dottie lie down. They dive behind boulders. More shots ring out from the trees. Jackson fires back. Controlled. Methodical. Clara aware. Pinned. Alino, we're bait. From the side, a rider charges one of the bandits. Jackson takes him down with a single shot. CLR, we can't stay here. JICK so into the cave go. They sprint to the horses and gallop away, ducking low. Behind them, torches flicker. In pursuit.ext, cattle cave Latera, jagged mouth in the mountain. Jackson leads them inside. The air is damp, the walls tight. Jackson Thiel come at first light. E lit, M. Rocks will do most of the work. Clara to Jackson, you've done this before. JICK so, and fending what's yours? Too many times, he winces. Clutching his side blood seeps from his coat. Clarior hit. She tears cloth from her undershirt. Binds the wound. Jackson through gritted teeth. Don't stop now. I like your stitches better than the doc in Denver. They almost smiled. In. Cave. Late in IGHT. They sit by a small fire. Eli speaks low. Eli, why you stay, cowboy? Why not run east with your money? JAC Kasoan, because land doesn't lie. People do. CLER money didn't save my hospital. Didn't save the dying. A long pause, Clara softly, but sometimes taut. A stranger's kindness does. Eli watches Hearth and nods. Ilithiel come at dawn. Count on it. Jackson eyes him. Gus, Kasoan. Then we make sure we see the sunrise. EXT Mountain Ridge. DAW in fog lingers. The bandits come, moving slow, confident. 5 of them now. One lights a Molotov. Inside the Cavalier and Jackson lie in wait. Clara crouches in shadow, revolver shaking in her hands. Gunfire erupts. Jackson fires first, hitting one square. Eli drops another from the high ledge. Clara screams, fires blindly. A third bandit tumbles, shot through the leg. The last 2 retreat cowards. Or planners. Silence returns. Jackson slumps. Clara rushes to him. See you later, no, stay with me. Blood soaks his shirt. His breathing ragged. JICKSOI. Still. Breathing. Just ... winded. She presses his hand to her cheek. CLRI, need you to stay stubborn. It's just a little longer. Ixt. Cave mouth lot smoke from the fire rises. The dead lie in snowbanks. Eli stands over them, eyes distant. Clara owes, it's over. Ill lie for now. She nods. Steps to the edge of the cave. The morning is gold and broken. Peaceful INT. CAVE. Shortly a feta Clara stitches Jackson. Swooned under sunlight. Jackson, you're not half bad with that pistol. CLR. Raiderfied the whole time. JC Casoan still. Stood your ground. She glances down. CLRE gave me something to believe in. Out here, that's rarer than warmth. JICK so on you gave me a reason to believe again. They share a look that says more than words ever could. EXT, Plains Days, LIT, Rely rides off without a word. Fading into the horizon, Jackson stands, arm in A. Sling, watching him go. Clara softly, will he be okay? Jake is so and he's already gone. Men like that never stop moving. She wraps her scarf tighter, stepping closer to Jackson. CLR, what about us? He looks at her, then the cabin in the distance still. Standing, JICK so on, we rebuild. You stay if you want, or I go with you. CLR, are this place. It's hard, unforgiving. JIC Casoan, but it's real. She leans her head on his chest. Fade. Out. Epilogue text on screen. Clara Layton and Jackson Ryland built the first free infirmary on the western frontier. Her service saved dozens of lives. Their love story was passed through generations, written in blood, snow, and fire. Call to action VO narrator, warm, reflective. If you were moved by their story of survival, sacrifice, and unexpected love, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. What would you have done in Clara's place? Let us know below.